Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Jenny Live. Hope you're having an amazing, beautiful evening wherever it is you're watching us from. Come and say hello. ¿Cómo están, amigos? Muy buenas noches. Bienvenidos nuevamente a otro Jenny Live. Espero de que estén de maravilla, que hayan tenido un día hermoso. Nada más recordándoles de que los saludo en español, pero vamos a continuar solamente en inglés. Así pues no me entienden o empiezan a aprender otro idioma. ¿Por qué no? Welcome, guys. Welcome. Beautiful days are back in the jungles of Tulum. Mosquitoes are still crazy, but it's still nice and warm, and oh my God, the weather is crazy. So there was some crazy. Let me check. Hold on one second. There were some crazy eruptions that happened yesterday or today, I think it was. Actually, I wasn't going to talk about it, and then I just realized I'm like, wait a minute, something did happen. I don't want to just blub about it. Let me see. Where'd it go for you? Yellowstone, there you go. So there was some eruptions in Yellowstone in the US, and there's some crazy videos about it, people running, and hopefully we got to send some positive vibes to this, because you know that if this actually does erupt, it's going to affect all of the US. And according to what I read, the Earth will go down 10 degrees, but obviously it's going to affect all living species within the area, because it's all going to be covered in ashes. So hopefully you won't get to that. Hopefully it's just a little breather that Mother Earth has taken. But of course, if you do live nearby, then make sure you take necessary precautions with time. I actually cannot read the chat. No puedo leer nada del chat porque me lo pusieron donde me tapa todo, así que lo siento, no los puedo leer, amigos. Pero bueno, bienvenidos. A ver si acá me entendieron, me lo van a correr del lugar. I can't read you right now. I said hello. All I'm saying is just hello, because they put it like right behind the camera. Apparently, I don't look at you straight in the eyes. I was told yesterday that I kind of look away. And I'm like, yeah, that's because I have a vision of me. So we tend to look at ourselves when we're doing something, right? To see if we're doing it right or not. There you go. That way, we're good. Thank you. Hello, Drew, Dogor, Fun, Jesús. Bienvenidos, amigos. ¿Cómo estamos? Buenas noches. Bueno, una erupción que pasó en Yellowstone National Park, pues no ha pasado nada en el tema volcánico todavía, pero sí da un poquito de miedo. Imagínense, si ustedes están viviendo cerca de este parque, por favor tengan cuidado, ¿no? Y bueno, no pensemos en mayores, no va a suceder nada, hay que mandar buenas ondas. Okay, so I'm going to answer this email. If you guys ever have questions about the topics that we have, or doubts, then please let me know. Shoot me an email. It's jenny@miamitv.com. Please don't write to me and say, hey, this is Jenny. Hey, do you read this? Because it's just really a waste of time, and then those emails will not get to me. So yes, there's somebody that vets the emails, and then I'll get the ones that are actually topics or that make sense, okay? So yeah, if you have something to literally say for the show, then we are happy to receive them. Una vueltita, por favor. No, ya me senté, amigo. ¿Qué va? Hello, Angel. Saludos. Un beso, Ángel. ¿Cómo estás? Bienvenidos. Aniket, positive day. It's always a beautiful day. It's always a positive day. Siempre días positivos, amigos. Aliens erupted the volcano? Who knows? I don't know. But there is that theory, which I don't think it's a theory. I think it's legit, that aliens do live within volcanoes. That's why we see them around when there's always active storms and active mosquitoes, active volcanoes. Hello. Hi, Martin. How are you? Welcome, guys. Buen día. ¿Cómo estamos? Okay, so here it goes. Hi, Jenny. I am Kekak from Nepal. Hello from Nepal. It started with that look of beautiful. Ooh. I love Miami TV Live and YouTube. Your topics are interesting about aliens and energy, right? Our crazy aliens and energy topics. I'm practicing naked lifestyle for the past 2 years in the jungle. You live in the jungle too. More power to our jungle people. In the past 1 year, I have been practicing sexual energy with strangers. That is like the number one thing that I was like, what? Like, why do you twist the message around and think that just because we speak about sexual energy, you confuse it and think that getting your sexual energy active means that you have to share it with anybody? Are you crazy? No, agree. So sometimes when I feel negative energy while having sex with other men, and sometimes people, I feel happy and also spread positive energy to other people. Please, can you explain these topics on the show and Jenny Live so people can learn about this a little more? Okay, my mother was great in astrology. I love people that are good in astrology. I think that it's when you learn how to, work with the astros, everything kind of becomes easier. That's why my meditators do, so I never really took much of an inclination on learning these subjects because I have people that do it for me. But if you are interested in astrology, I think that you're going to benefit from it, of course. I mean, that's what the Mayans did, remember? And they were great at making decisions, I guess. Brazil, oi, como estão vocês? Okay, so let me stop you right there. Practicing sexual energy with strangers, what is that all about? That is a big no-no. I feel like sometimes there's people that just kind of take the bits of information and misunderstand it, or just use it for their use it in their own way and just say, well, they're talking about the importance of sex and the importance about sexual energy, so this must mean, right, that it's a free world of sex and you need to have sex with strangers. No, no. I mean, like, huge no. That's precisely what we speak against. Of course, you could do whatever you want. I'm not going to judge, and nobody should judge. But when it comes to actually benefiting from energy and sex, the number one thing that you cannot do is have sex with strangers. So, maybe I need to explain it a little bit more in detail, which is that your body is energy. Our strongest energy generation is through sex because, well, what is the strongest energy generation in the world? Life, okay? We have this gift of creating life. So that spark of life that happens when two people unite, all right? A female and a male. Energy comes down, that spark happens, and the soul is incarnated. So if you take that action that is made to generate positive energy and you just utilize it for mundane pleasure, okay, which is basically the carnal pleasure, or you start acting animalistic, okay, then you're not going to get any benefit whatsoever from it. In fact, there's articles that will come out and say, sex is healthy, it's good for your body, it burns calories. There's so much misinformation out there that the thing is that all of these things are true. Sex is healthy. It'll help you actually even mold your body. Okay, it is going to burn calories, and it's the best way for you to do meditation, yoga, dancing, and the voice. How we were explaining in one of the Jenny Lives, where everything is moved, okay? So you're generating the strongest energy ever, but you're actually backfiring on yourself if you do it wrong. What does it mean to have sex in a wrong way when it comes to positive energy? Well, not having the emotion of love, because what actually decides, okay, if the energy is positive or negative is your feeling. So you could meet maybe with somebody, that you have a really strong connection with, a friend or somebody that has pure energy, okay, and have a tantric experience and generate positive energy if you're both conscious about this and doing it with a conscience that you're practicing Tantra. That is that fine line, okay, that it's very difficult. I would recommend not to do it anyway, just because it's more than likely that you're not going to do it appropriate. You're not going to do it correctly. Like I said, it's a very fine line. So if you don't know how to manipulate energy, that is something that you need to stay away from, because emotions is basically basically what controls the energy that you have inside of you. So that's why when we talk about triggering, right, and we talk about negativity and how to rewire our brain to think positive and to act accordingly and to act, correctly when negative situations happen, these triggers that happen, they're all emotions. Okay, so when you learn to control your emotions, you can learn to manipulate your energy. But the thing is that if you don't know about this and you don't have the expertise or experience in these subjects, it could really, really backfire in a negative way. So you're going to end up having sex with a stranger, like you just mentioned, and you're going to end up feeling super empty afterwards, and maybe your life is not going to be moving the appropriate way after all. So just because we talk about sexual energy doesn't mean that you need to go out and activate your sexual energy with anybody. On the contrary, you need to practice celibacy. I know how maybe silly that might sound or how prude it might sound, but at the end of the day, like I always say, you can do whatever the heck you want. I'll just guide you to generate positive energy so that your channel gets purer, so that your channel gets stronger, and so that you continue, to progress in your life towards that mission that you have to, let's say, do on this planet or finalize in this planet. So you need to really, really be careful. I think that if you are careful with the people that you're choosing, and these are people that maybe want to practice these rituals with you, because remember that sex is a ritual, then so be it. It's going to be, but it's not going to be something that you're going to be doing passionately. It's not going to be something that you're going to be doing aggressively. Okay, so when it comes to the practice of tantra, when it comes to the practice of actually generating this energy, well, it takes consciousness to begin. So it's very difficult to find someone that you can have that consciousness with and say, we're going to share our bodies with this conscious feeling that this is a ritual. In fact, there are sexual rituals that you can do for particular issues or problems, like health problems or money or projects that you might have in mind. Because, like we said, this is your strongest energy. So if you just think about something and you think that you're going to be attracting it, it really all depends on what you're hosting. Are you hosting positivity? Are you hosting negativity? According to whatever it is that you're hosting is what you're going to express to the rest. Vernon, I'm guessing you're getting younger by the age. I mean, seriously, you're being very negative, and I don't care to read you anymore. So if what you have inside, particularly what we were talking about yesterday, right? When people have negativity inside, they'll just try to make other people feel bad about themselves. So if what you have inside of you is toxic, obviously, what you're going to be doing is exhaling that toxicity out to the universe. It's basically that simple. Now, if you balance out that, the kitties are around, if you balance out that energy and you know for sure that you're positive, because everything around you and everything that you're doing and the people that surround you, the situations that happen to you, like how do you know if you just finished generating negative energy? Like, for example, you just said that you're, good morning, Daniel, how are you? You just said, for example, that you are, you're sharing the sexual energy with strangers. With some, it's great experiences. With others, it's not positive. But the reality is that every time you are sharing your body with somebody, you are acquiring all of their, let's say, their energy from their experiences. So if the person that you're with has traumatic experiences that they have not healed, okay, that is actually going to make you absorb that negative energy from those situations, and it's going to affect your life later on. And maybe you're not going to feel it right away. Maybe you're not going to feel it tomorrow or the next day, because maybe you finish that situation, maybe you finish that encounter, and you're going to be like, oh, that was so pleasurable, that was so great, we really connected. Nobody said that negative energy was wasn't great, like in a sense of feeling. I mean, you're going to have this sharing sharing of emotions, and it's going to feel amazing. In fact, sometimes negative energy actually could make you feel more animalistic and more and stronger in an energy level than you would ever think. And you might even confuse it with love. So that is when you're really, really far away from what love really is, you know? Guys, I totally missed the comment, sorry. So keep that in mind, okay? So definitely pick whoever it is that you're sharing yourself with. And second of all, if you can abstain from sharing yourself with anybody, if you don't have a steady partner, that would be the number one thing that I would recommend, because then you're going to be safe. You're going to be safe in the sense of saying you're not going to be absorbing anybody's negativity. You're not going to be absorbing anybody's traumas, okay? So it's going to be okay. You're going to be sure that you're not generating negativity in that area, at least. And then you have to make sure that you're not generating any negativity in anything else, right? Like the way that you're acting, the way that you speak to people, or the way that you're trying to make people feel, for example, or situations when you encounter negative situations, do you act upon them in a negative way? These are all triggers to let you know that you need to detox. Now, okay, Jenny, but you talk so much about sexual energy. How do I activate it if I'm not having sex? It's really simple. You can activate it on your own, and it actually has nothing to do, when I speak of sexual energy, it has nothing to do with the actual sexual act itself. You know, you can activate your sexual energy. The reason why we call it this is because it is the creator energy. It's the energy that comes from our solar plexus, okay? And this is, you know, and from our genitals, and this is where we come from. So it's the strongest one. But you can activate it without having any kind of intercourse, and you can activate it by yourself and without even touching yourself, actually. So at the end of the day, it all comes back to your mind, the power of your mind and what you're doing with it. As a matter of fact, at work today, when we were slow in work, I said the most important thing there is love. Exactly. Love moves mountains. Love heals. Love is the best thing that we can all have. So if you're having an encounter with somebody, okay, let's say that you're trying out a new Tantra class, and there's somebody that wants to try Tantra with you, okay, and you say, okay, in a safe environment, in an environment where somebody is controlling the energies, which is actually what I do in our Tantra courses, and there's no risk in these energies being negative, okay, which for the most cases that's what happens, is that the energy that you share with somebody that you don't know, it's going to be immediately negative because there's no love there. Okay, so if there's nobody actually guiding that situation or that course, Robert, saludos Madrid, ¿cómo estamos? If there's nobody actually monitoring that there's no negative energy being generated, then you're going to be affected by it, because inevitably, the moment that you have intercourse with a stranger, since there's no love, the number one thing that happens is that the male, enabled to have an erection to begin with, has to have lustful thoughts. Because the only thing that makes the male have an erection when they're with their partner is the emotion of love, is the feeling of love. So it's a gentle, and of course mixed in with the sexual feelings, and that, I guess you could call it that, the little bit of lust. But the main emotion is going to be love. So the more emotional love, the more emotions you have towards that person, the more you're going to be able to work, okay? So if you're with a stranger, men don't really have that way of saying, well, I don't love, so it's not going to work, and get it to work with thinking of love, because you can't fake it. So the moment you are with a stranger, usually what happens, if there is no recollection and no knowledge whatsoever of how to really manipulate this sexual energy with breathing, okay, which is actually a really deep meditative state that you can control. You can actually control, men can control their erections with breathing and with concentrating and bringing that chi, right, and that energy down and being able to control their erections. You can do this. But the thing is that you're not doing this. You're not having sex with people that are masters in Tantra or in G energy or in any of this. You're just having sex with strangers. So there is absolutely nothing positive about that. In fact, I was really shocked to receive this email, because if one person has misunderstood some of the information that I was giving, that means that many people misunderstood it, and I think that's a huge problem. No, guys, you cannot have sex with strangers if you don't want to have the reaction, right? A negative reaction later on in your life. You're going to lose your job. You're going to be sick. You're going to, you're going to feel lost. You're going to go backwards instead of forward when sexual energy is all the opposite. Sexual energy is to be used with love, with caution. If you don't have somebody to practice it with, then you're going to keep it to yourself. You're going to be able to master it on your own. This comes with breathing exercises, like, for example, tantric meditation, which is something that I've talked to you guys about a lot of times. It is actually the manipulation of your arousal, because our body and mind understand arousal as you immediately think arousal and you immediately think of sex, okay? And that's something that needs to change in your mind. You need to think of arousal and think of strength, power. Your arousal is actually power inside of you, and this is the way that your body is reacting to it. Okay, so you're harnessing all this power, all this energy from your own engine, from your own body, and you're making it stronger, and you're moving it, up and down through your body. If you learn how to manipulate this energy, and this is when all these books come, and it's actually something that's gaining, I think, a little bit more popularity today with men when it comes to semen retention. It's actually great. There's people that have become millionaires just by retaining their semen, believe it or not. And it's not a physical thing whatsoever. It's something that has to do with the control of your sexual energy. And that control basically just means that you are having a conscious manipulation of that energy going up and down in your body. And it gets to the point, and it will get to the point, where it's no longer sexual. Okay, so we as humans have this idea that sex is just, almost, because porn is so popular. So you think of sex and you think of porn videos, you think of sex, you think of animals, the harder, the strongest, the fastest, the better. And the reality is that all these things actually do make sense, because you are generating more energy when all these actions take place in faster, stronger, and louder, whatever. But you can go both ways. You can be doing it in a negative way or in a positive way. But how do you know if you're actually doing it in a positive way? You're going to see the results later on throughout your days. Okay, you're going to feel, you could feel great afterwards, and you just generated a lot of negativity, and it felt wow. It might have felt amazing. But like I said, positive energy is pleasurable, negative energy is pleasurable. And in fact, negative energy sometimes is stronger and animalistically pleasurable, that you're going to even be confused and be like, what was that? Because at the end of the day, you're moving energy. It's regardless, you're going to be moving energy. Even if you say, no, I'm just having sex. No, there's no way for anybody on this planet to have sex and not move energy. Okay, so whether you like it or not, whether you believe in it or not, you are moving energy. So how do you know if you're generating negative energy? If maybe you pick someone that you see that is a really nice person, but the thing is that strangers, you don't know a stranger unless you perceive their energy. How do you know what kind of traumas they have, what kind of situations they've been with, and who they've been with before? Because these are all records. Our memory, okay, is our conscience. Our memory is energy that we transfer when we are with someone. We transfer all of that energy towards the other person. So you're basically recycling the other person's energy. It's almost like, if we don't talk about it in an energy level, and I just tell you, well, when you kiss somebody, you're sharing all of your DNA and all that saliva and all, what if the person has a fungus problem? Would you think twice before kissing somebody? Probably, because it's something that I'm talking about the physical. I'm talking about, the medical part. Nobody talks about energy, but the thing is that it's sometimes a lot worse. I was seeing a video the other day that I retweeted. I don't know if it's retweet or re-xed, but I retweeted that I found so interested. And it was this guy talking about, is it possible that parasites are demons? And it literally just blew my mind, because I had never thought about it like that, and it makes absolute sense. So I immediately messaged Enrique, and I'm like, Enrique, are parasites demons? And he's like, of course. It's like they're 100% negative energy. I'm like, why didn't you ever tell me this? I'm like, I didn't know this. Like, but it makes so much sense the way that the guys explained it. And I'll get a video. Actually, just look at my ex account if you're interested in it and listen to it, because I thought it was so interesting the way that he was explaining why is humanity today so sexual, and what is the number one thing that parasites do is they try to mate. Because when there's one, when there's one parasite, it's usually female or male, and they need the couple. So what they do is parasites have the power to even control your mind and your desires. When you say, I can't stop having sweets, or I can't stop eating cheese, or I can't stop, when you say that you definitely cannot live without something, is because something inside of you is making you yearn these things. And I usually explain it in the sense of energy, of telling you guys, well, when you're saying you can't stop these bad habits or these negative habits, it's because there's negativity inside of you that is inclining you more towards that loss of control, and you go out and you're very sexual and you let go in that sexual act. But it actually does make sense that if you do have parasites in your body because of the food that you eat and all that, that's going to make you be very sexually active. So if you guys have not done a deep cleansing when it comes to parasites, then you really need to start looking for information. There's various ways that you can cleanse from this, because I've had people actually before come to me and say, I can't stop thinking about sex, I can't stop thinking about this. And I'm like, well, usually it's just for me, it's always just been energy. Well, you have negative energy, but in a physical level, I mean, energy is also physical. It has a space in your body, but it definitely makes sense that if you are filled with parasites, that you're going to have urges to basically be contagious. Okay, so there's so much information out there today. Like I was saying yesterday, if you decide not to know and you just say, I don't know, the feeling is too strong. Yeah. Saludos, Gua. Then you're not. There's no room for being ignorant today. There's so much information out there. Anyway, so going back, so how do you know if you're generating negative or positive? Well, basically, at the moment, you don't, because they're both going to be very pleasurable. But if I'm to tell you anything, is no, do not have sex with strangers. That is probably the worst thing that you could do for yourself, for your health, and for your life overall. Because you're not going to see results right away, but you're going to notice a huge difference later on, that you're not going to be attracting the person that you really want to spend the rest of your life with. The more you share yourself sexually with someone, the more you're actually absorbing their DNA, the more that you're absorbing their genetics, the more that you're absorbing their traumas, and especially if they're strangers. You don't know where that person's been, what they've been through. And like I said, we're not only speaking in a health level, we're speaking in an energetical level, which in fact, if you ask me, it's actually even deeper and more delicate, because it's things that you cannot see that later on affect your overall health. Because every single health problem that you have in your life begins with negative energy. Call it a parasite, call it something that you can't see, but it begins with negative energy. So you need to prevent yourself from generating negative energy. Number one thing to do is don't have sex with strangers. You want to activate your sexual energy? Amazing. That means controlling your orgasms, not exploding and releasing energy at any moment, because that is your life. This is your backup battery, basically. This is something that you want to maintain inside of you, okay? So learn about containing, learn about tantric meditation, where you actually play with your arousal in the sense that you get to these very, very high, exciting times and moments, right? And then you just breathe. And you start getting used to that power, because that is exactly what it is. It's a power, and it's an electricity inside of you that is moving. Learn how to move it. Don't give it to just anybody, because you're giving away your strength, you're giving away your power, you're giving away your purity. And if there's something that we all need today, is purity. You need to be as pure as possible, and the only way of doing that is keeping to yourself. Okay, so this isn't prude. Okay, don't be like, oh, that's prude, celibacy, how boring. Like I said, do whatever you want. It's your life, but you are going to pay the consequences later. Trust me. So for the person that wrote this email, I'm sorry if there was any kind of misunderstanding in the message that I was giving, but I really hope that you understand it now. I really hope that you stop doing that. And anybody that has watched my shows and has misunderstood it, I apologize. But then again, I don't, because I think that people do take the information and just put it into their own benefit, into like, oh yeah, they hear half of it and then they stop listening. You need to hear the actual message. And if there's something that isn't clear, then you can always write to me and ask me. But precisely, that is the number one thing that I would tell you not to do is no, do not share your energy with anybody. Now, when it comes to exploring sexual energy, then it's yourself. If you're alone, if you don't have somebody, that loves you, and you don't have somebody that you love, then it doesn't mean that you cannot explore your sexuality, that you cannot explore your sexual energy. In fact, this is the number one time where you need to pay more attention to yourself, to know yourself, to explore yourself, to get to know your limits, okay? And you're going to notice that there are no limits. Be successful on your own before you're successful with somebody else, okay? So really just get to the point where you clear your traumas, where you clear your negativity, and you get to the point where you are so clear and so pure that you are going to attract the person that you need. You're going to attract that half orange that you've all been looking for. But in the meantime, don't mess your life up and mess your energy up on the way, because the only thing that you're doing is being further and further away from actually meeting that person. The more negative energy that you generate by having sex without love, the more negative energy that you attract into your life, and the more people that you attract into your life with that feeling that you're having, which is emptiness, okay, and shallowness. So no. You have to merge towards love. You have to merge towards positivity. You have to merge towards protection, towards health, towards yourself, and purity, of course. All right, guys? People take things out of context a lot. Yeah, I was like, what? But, it made me feel bad, because I'm like, wow, you're doing this because you obviously saw a video of mine. So I really hope that this doesn't happen again, because if anything, that means that you're affecting your life negatively with a message that I said and took it out of context. So that makes me feel bad. All right, guys. I am super peeling, by the way. I got burned. We will see you too. Wait, no, sorry. I'm not going to see you tomorrow. We're going to see you on Monday. So I hope you guys have an amazing evening. Rest. Have the rest of the week off. We are celebrating Enrique's birthday this week. So tonight is the last night of Jenny Live. Until next Monday, stay tuned in Miami TV, of course, with all of our programming. And like I said, if you have any questions, just shoot me an email. Make sure don't ask me if you can ask a question, because then the email will never get to me. Just ask the question, okay? Have a great night, guys. Continuing now for members only in MiamiTV.com with a Positive Energy Nude Seminar. Kisses. Good night.